So another important aspect of FTL is carefully managing your scrap usage. In this episode, we'll talk about optimally using your scrap, especially in relation to stores. So the first thing that's most important when you're considering visiting a store is, do you have enough scrap to buy anything useful there? If you've only got, say, 30 scrap or so, there's not any reason to visit the store because there's almost nothing useful you could buy. The only reason to do it in that case is if you're really desperate for repairs or fuel. In other situations, it's better to visit other beacons instead, just get more income. Now, 80 scrap or so, that's usually enough to buy most things that you would want to buy. Stuff like burst laser 2s, flak 1s, halberd beams, long-range scanners, hacking, all of those useful things and more can be bought for 80 scrap or less. However, the next consideration is that you shouldn't just rush to the store. A lot of times you're set up where you can visit other beacons first to potentially get some extra scrap and then go to the store and have more to spend when you get there. Also take into consideration anything that you're planning on selling. So if you have like a beam drone that you're planning on selling off, that's 25 extra scrap, so take that into consideration that you have more money than you actually see that you have here. So we're going to go ahead and visit another beacon here to try to get some extra scrap. There we go. Get some extra scrap before visiting the store here. Now, once you're at the store, don't spend your money right away. Consider your options before spending your money. Don't habitually just hit the fix all and repair, because sometimes you don't necessarily want to repair your ship to full. Now let's say that our ship is pretty weak on weaponry. Let's say, so we're the NGB here, we've only got a heavy ion and a heavy laser. If this is like the end of Sector 2 or something like that, we should probably just pick up this burst laser 2. We really need to improve our firepower, and that's a really good weapon, gonna last us the whole game. So we're gonna go ahead and pick up the burst laser 2. That means we don't have enough money to fully repair our ship, but we do have enough money to repair our ship pretty well, so we can still get up to 25 hull. And being at 25 hull and having the burst laser 2 is way better than being at 30 hull and not having the burst laser 2. So that's important consideration there. So now we're healthy enough. We're at 25 scrap, or 25 hull rather. That's pretty good. Additionally, though, it's potentially beneficial even if I could afford to repair more to leave myself a little bit hurt, because there are several events in the game that give you free repairs as part of the event. So it's often worthwhile, as long as you have a strong enough setup, to leave yourself at like 25 hull or so you can benefit more from those free repairs from events. Just another way to get a little more free money out of the game. Next consideration is that you rarely want to buy missiles and drone parts. They're really expensive for what they do, so if you keep buying lots of them, you're going to run out of money fast and not have money for more important things. Now, there are exceptions. There are definitely cases that it is worth buying drone parts especially, and sometimes even missiles, but consider it a last resort. You want to manage your usage of these resources so that you don't have to buy them much at all. Fuel is something you want to keep a reasonable stock of, but you don't need to go overboard. Usually somewhere around 12 or so fuel is a good baseline to be comfortable, but you might want to buy a little bit more if you're about to head into a big nebula or something like that. That's going to take a lot of hops there. The final note is that you should not go crazy over fun toys. Stuff like glade beams, pre-igniters, or cloaking are all really fun things to buy, and it's nice to buy them when you can, but it's often not actually worth it, especially if it's early on. Let's say you have really fast weapons, the pre-igniter's not going to do a whole lot for you anyway, and that 120 scrap early on could cripple you and mean that you don't have the defenses you need going on later in the game. So always have a mindset of, okay, that's a cool thing, but you don't need to buy it. That even applies to stuff like a burst laser 2, which is an incredibly strong weapon, but sometimes it's just correct not to buy it. But hopefully that will help improve your buying decisions and scrap usage.